Hi friends, my name is Matt. I'm the youth and family pastor at Cornerstone Church in Marshfield. I'm here today with the Cornerstone Connection, a daily devotional. Let me encourage you, if you do not have a daily Bible reading plan, we're going through the New Testament here at Cornerstone, and we're using a Bible reading plan put on by the Bible Project, but it's through the YouVersion Bible app that you can just download on your phone. And so if you don't have that as a Bible reading plan as part of your personal worship plan on a daily basis, jump right in with us. It's not too late. Go to our website, cornerstonemarshfield.com. You'll see a Bible reading plan image there. Click that and join us today. We're in day 87. We're in Luke chapter 6. And I'm just going to start by reading what we have going on here. And I'm going to read from verse 1 through verse 11. All right, so here we go. Luke chapter 6, verses 1 through 11. And this section of text is entitled The Lord of the Sabbath. One Sabbath, Jesus was going through the grain fields, and his disciples began to pick some heads of grain, rub them in their hands, and eat the kernels. Some of the Pharisees asked, "Why are you doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath?" Jesus answered them, "Have you never read what David did when he and his companions were hungry? He entered the house of God, and taking the consecrated bread, he ate what is lawful only for priests to eat. And he also gave some to his companions." Then Jesus said to them, "The Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath." On another Sabbath, he went into the synagogue and he was teaching, and a man was there whose right hand was shriveled. The Pharisees and the teachers of the law were looking for a reason to accuse Jesus. So they watched him closely to see if he would heal on the Sabbath. But Jesus knew what they were thinking, and he said to the man with the shriveled hand, "Get up and stand in front of everyone." So he got up and he stood there. Then Jesus said to them, "I ask you, which is lawful on the Sabbath? To do good or to do evil? To save life or to destroy it?" Crickets. Verse 10. He looked around at them all, and then he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He did so, and his hand was completely restored. But they were furious, and they began to discuss with one another what they might do to Jesus. Well, I stopped in the middle between verse 9, or I should say towards the end, between verse 9 and verse 10, where Jesus turns to the Pharisees and teachers of the law, and he says, "What is lawful on the Sabbath, to do good or to do evil, to save life or to destroy it?" And there's no response from anybody. Well, if you've been married for any length of time, you'll know that sometimes in conversations with your spouse, particularly I'm talking to the men out there, if your wife is just needs to just tell you something, she's getting something off her chest, our tendency is to want to fix it, right? We want to solve the problem. And so we think it's best for us to say something and try to fix that problem. And what we end up doing is just making the problem bigger, because what our wife wanted us to do was simply just listen and be quiet. So sometimes what we find in conversations and conflict is that saying nothing at all is exactly what we should do. We should just listen, and we should allow that person to be heard. Now, in other circumstances, like we saw here with Jesus and the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, when he posed this question to them, when they didn't respond at all to this question of what is lawful on the Sabbath, to do good or to do evil, and they were just completely silent, and Jesus had to continue talking, that was not the moment to be quiet. Because here's what happens at times, is when we say nothing at all, we're saying a whole lot. And what the Pharisees and the teachers of the law revealed to Jesus that day is that for them, it was way more important to follow the traditions and the laws that they held so dear, instead of obeying God himself, instead of doing good, instead of looking out for those who needed love, those who needed care, those who that day, like that man with the shriveled hand, needed healing. It was more important to follow rules than to love your neighbor. And so in saying nothing that day, they said a whole lot, and they gave Jesus the answer that he already knew before he even asked it. Friends, let me encourage you. It can be hard at times to discern, but let's use wisdom. There's a time to speak, and there's a time to listen. And so may we ask God in the moments that we're in conversations, perhaps conflict, arguments, whatever it might be, let's ask him for his wisdom in how to respond, whether that be with a strong, firm answer that glorifies him or with silence and listening. Have a great day, friends. Hey, we'll see you next time on the Cornerstone Connection.